And for more on Finland and Sweden's bid to join NATO, foreign affairs analyst Kelechi Decca joins me live on the World Now. Good to have you join us.
Yes, my pleasure to join you. Thank you.
So this reaction we're getting from Ankara, is it just power play because there is an election to be won in June, or is this really Turkey demanding that tougher stance should be taken against alleged Kurdish members in Sweden?
Yeah, I think President Erdogan is facing a very tough election, and he is also not losing sight of the opportunity the NATO ascension for the two countries provides for him, and the leverages he has to be able to exert a lot of compromise and concessions from both NATO and Sweden and Finland. So with the election coming up, and he already knows the importance, the strategic importance of Turkey in what is happening within that geopolitical zone. And knowing that both NATO, Russia, Ukraine, that everybody seems to want something from Turkey, he is seeing it as this is his last opportunity to be able to make the most out of all these opportunities. Remember sometime in June or July last year, he shocked a lot of people when he lifted the ban on both Finland and Sweden joining NATO. And people just looked at it and said that maybe this is a new development coming up. But knowing everybody who understands what's happening in Turkey and the role the Kurdish people in exile and what they call the Kurdish rebel in exile in Sweden and in Finland, the role they are playing in helping the PKK, also understands why Erdogan would want to use it as a leverage, both to project his own persona going into an election year, and also to project what he thinks is a popularist belief within Turkey.
And interesting, you mentioned that he's going to use this, that's President Erdogan is going to use this as diplomatic leverage. He has the veto card. How far do you think he's going to stall?
I think he wants to know how much the United States in particular, how much leverage he can get from the United States and from NATO, because presently he's looking at what's going to happen in Hungary. You know, out of the 30 member NATO nations, it's only Turkey and Hungary that's still holding out. And there's the likelihood that when the Hungarian parliament convenes by next month, that they may accept both Hungary, they may accept both Sweden and Finland's accession into NATO, leaving only Turkey being the one out there. And he knows, you know what the rule says, even if it is one country that says no, there's not going to be any admittance into the group. So he wants to use it to get as much concession he can get, not only concerning the members of the Kurdish group in exile in Sweden and in Finland, but also what is happening in Syria. He is also very, very interested in what is happening in Syria, the level of leverage he can get from both NATO and the United States, to put pressure in Syria to give him leverage to be able to, move deeper into Syria. And the way Turkish election, if those who understand Turkish politics has been over time, there are still a large number of Turkish citizens that do not like the what they call the totalitarian way that Erdogan has taken Turkey in the last decade. They want something middle of the center as it used to be, but because of the politics within the region and also the kind of terrorist attacks that happens from time to time, Erdogan has a lot of support base within his own country, and he will use it to be able to maintain his stay in government, which is very important for him.
But how far can he push this? And what does he stand to lose if he continues to push this? Whilst this is a diplomatic leverage, there are those who believe that, look, it is also a risk for him to continue to push this.
Yeah, there were talks over the week. A lot of people have been suggesting, asking what can NATO do if Erdogan continues to stall the ascension of those two countries into the bloc. According to the rule, there is not much they can do for now, but also when you look at the strategic importance of Turkey, both to the United States and to NATO and also the European Union within that area, and the role Turkey is playing in the Russian-Ukraine war, it is so easy to, acknowledge the fact that Turkey is holding NATO at the jugular, and it has to be something. It has to be a very intricate diplomatic minefield that NATO is going to work to be able to get Erdogan to do one or two things, because he strongly believes that this is his time to be able to get as much as he can get. And secondly, if he does not show that strong man tactics against the PKK and against the Kurdish rebels in exile, people at home, some of his supporters at home, might see him as being a weakling. Then thirdly, he is also ready to play the religious angle because he knows that that's the only thing he can use to, wow the masses and get a lot of support base around him. Even those who are against him politically are not going to be against him from the religious point of view. So he has so many cards he wants to play. He plays the geopolitical regional card, he plays the political card, then he plays the regional, the religious card. So he's looking at all these things around him. And if you look at also the level of opposition within Turkey, it is not as strong as it should be, for people to start thinking about the possibility of Erdogan losing in the elections. So it's a very dicey situation, and he knows that they need him now more than he needs them. So he's going to he might likely want to get draw water from stone if possible.
What we know now is that Turkey has summoned the Swedish ambassador. We also know that a visit by this Sweden's parliamentary speaker to Ankara has now been cancelled. We'll see how far Turkey takes this and how much of a setback it is for Sweden. Thank you so much for talking to us, Foreign Affairs Analyst
It's my
Kelechi
pleasure.
Decca.